o'clock in the UK. And if you're not in those two countries, it's the time wherever it is at your local time, whatever that is. But very, very good morning to you. I'm your host, Phil Griggs. I work with spirituality, hypnotherapy, and all these enjoyable things, fantastic jobs. And I'm joined this morning, shortly in a very short space of time, by my good friend Guillemar, who's a professional astrologer and professional psychologist, which is always, I always look forward to a Wednesday morning show. Great debates, great discussions, and yes, a chance for you guys as well to interact, get involved with everything, and let's get this show on the road. So first of all, let's do a bit of this. So, good morning to you. I hope you guys are well. I hope you're having a fabulous morning wherever you are. And yes, and and now we started a different season. Now we're going to autumn, and we come out of a very strange summer. Very strange summer, and I think some of us were feeling here, even part of the year, probably someone's feeling here. Well, I'll put that lot behind me. And now we're coming to another season. We're going, okay, what's this? What's this? Well, we're going to find out that very shortly. And just before we go on now, I want to say a very big thank you to Chris, who came on the show last night, and he did his music. He did. We both did readings there, and we had a phenomenal amount of people around the world who joined the show, especially from America. So a big thank you to you guys out there. Big thank you to you, Chris. And yeah, really was engaging. Really was engaging. Quite lively, quite funny, and but the main thing is, though, I think is the interaction with you guys, the way you thoroughly enjoyed it. So great, fantastic. I'm joined next week by the fabulous Taryn Sandbrook on a Tuesday evening. Now, are you guys interested in developing mediumship? Would you like to develop your mediumship skills? Or would you be happy to do an online course? Would that interest you? Well, this is coming up very soon. It starts on September the 14th, which is about 5 days away. It's 8 o'clock in the evening, 7 o'clock in the UK. And it's a live 2-hour Zoom session. If you'd like to get involved with this, just let me know. Let me know and I'll tell you all about it. And but it develops your skills in mediumship, and there's still a few places left and people can get involved. So there we go. How's that? Would you like to do that? And if you go onto the Cafe Clairvoyance page, you'll also find it, if you're in the Javier area or around that particular area, we're also doing a, just shrink that down a little bit. Again, if you like to do mediumship, but this one's in a classroom or a training room, should I call it? Classroom, sounds like I'm back at school. Anyway, that's on Saturday the 19th, so that's just over a week away. And in that session there, we'll be developing mediumship as well, but this one's actually in a group. So any interest there, just let me know. Still places available on both, and but always very interactive, very lively, and good fun. Anyway, let's get back on with the show. Let's go and have a look here. I'm looking for where has my oh, there it is. There it is. Just come back there. Yes, I lost my comment board. That suddenly went disappeared. Anyway, good morning to you, Paul from Norfolk. I know you're laughing now because you probably are up there, but you're not in Norfolk. You're probably driving in Norfolk, but actually Paul's trying to trick us. He's actually from Wales. Anyway, right. And a very good morning to Susanna as well. She's joined the show as well. And lovely to see so many of you guys on. Now, okay, how are you all? How are you feeling? Are your energies up? Are they that way or that way or that way? How are you feeling here? Are you feeling here? Oh my God, what's wrong with me? Why have I got no energy? Or why is not life going so fast enough? Is there a reason for all this? Is something out there? Is it something I'm doing wrong? Is there something where life isn't going right? I don't know. Well, there's a bit more to this here. Now, astrology offers here a lot of guidance to things here. This is one of the things I am truly blessed to have on the show every Wednesday. Is my good friend Guillemar. And some people say that she was born under the stars. Some people say that Saturn was an important planet into life here. Some people say she's Scorpio rising, and some people say she's just brilliant. I agree with those. Anyway, this is my good friend Guillemar, and a big morning welcome to the show once again, Guillemar. How are you?
Good morning, Phil. Good morning, everybody. I'm good.
Oh, fabulous. Right, Susanna says here, oh, right, sort of like explosions are going off in the family. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. We've got Julie Peers who wants to say hi. Good morning to Julie, and good morning to everybody else who's joining the show so far. So this is an interactive show, guys. If you've got questions, you want to find out what the heck is going on, or you agree to something we're saying, or no, you want to challenge us on it, fantastic. We need your gossip here. So by all means, don't just sit there and think, oh, this is a nice show. Just get on your little keyboard there and just type away. Let us know where you're coming in from. Whether it's the UK, whether it's somewhere else, whether it's Spain, wherever it is. And yes, it'd be great to interact with you guys and talk about this morning's events. So, you're wearing that red dress. And
I have a party afterwards.
you have a party afterwards. It's very
Yeah.
nice, very nice. Yes. And who's going to be? Is there a gentleman there by any chance? Is this why we're... No?
I wish, but no.
He's Irish. That's nice. He's Irish. That's good. That's so nice. It's always nice to be an Irishman when you're wearing a dress. Anyway, there you go. Good. Okay, so wearing a dress, and now we've got... Is this dressing up because of what Mars is doing? Is this what it's all about as well?
No, I think it's more what's going on in between Mercury, Venus, the moon, and even Chiron.
Yes. Okay.
They're forming between them what's called, it's a figure of aspects, like the lines that put them together. It's called a crib.
Oh, yes.
It's forming a crib. And a crib is like people who have a crib are people who are like, they keep that naiveness and that innocence throughout all their lives. So it's an aspect of, it reminds me a lot of the inner child, but like the happy inner child. But that Chiron there, and then those retrogrades, Mars doing in square to Pluto, to Saturn, to not now to Jupiter, but it has been, and conjunct Lilith. So like Mars Lilith, as you know, is all about independence, getting what you want, being free, and then it's all like the Pluto and Saturn of what you have to do, your obligations, and the retrograde, so they're like pulling back, and you think you already, okay, I got rid of this, I've overcome this, but no, it's still there. It's like, and then there's the childish aspects, the soft, also Sun Neptune,
Yeah.
and it's a soft child energy. I brought a card out to make sure, and it's like, by the way, I have a new tarot deck. It's called the Spacious Tarot.
The Spacious Tarot. Okay.
It is beautiful. So you see, this is the...
You have to go that way a bit, because that's it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
this is the Empress.
Oh, wow. Okay, very
Beautiful.
Neptunian
So
and very flowery, isn't it?
It's a field, yeah, with flowers. There's some berries.
Yes.
And there's like an eagle or a hawk perched on a rock looking to the side, right?
Okay.
So to me, it evokes a bit like, well, the Empress energy is a very inward energy,
Yes.
like this delicate Venus, Leo, Mercury, Libra, with the moon in Gemini are suggesting, there's this delicacy, this floweriness to this energy, but that there's a rock, there's a hawk, that's the Capricorn stuff, and they're kind of looking that way. So it's to me, it's different things. On the one hand, it's like, hey, I just want to enjoy life. I just want to have fun. I just want to do what I want to do. I want to laugh like a child.
Yes.
But that Chiron there in the crib is pulling. And then, as I said, the square from Mars Lilith to Saturn Pluto is like, yeah, but you have obligations. Don't forget.
Yes. Yes. Understand this. And I think the way I was actually thinking about this this morning, and being ex-forces here, the way I sort of put this in here is this is not the time the general gets his troops to attack something, to go in and march forwards. This is the time that he gets his troops to retrain. retrain before he goes ahead, so they know what they've got to overcome. Otherwise, you're going into territory you won't know how to manage. So I see it as a time here to go back and train for things. So you are progressing, but you're just making use of time before you go and make your next advancement, say coming up the end of November, coming into December. And so I think a lot of people here maybe need this time into them. Maybe think of that analogy here is going back into what you're doing to tidy it right up, get it neat, get it ready. You're not going backwards, you are going forward, you're just making it better.
Yeah, yeah. And that Venus and Leo is a lot about what do I really want? What do I really like? You know, and
Yes.
in Libra, it's just like delicately with the moon, Gemini, just taking that Venus's hand along. So there's a very gentle aspect to the day. So for me, that's a lot to do with, you know, nurturing and really getting in touch with yourself and with your heart and saying, what do you truly want? You know, make that vision, create that vision, get in contact with that.
This is so important this year, I think, because we've been lost to thinking it's all external. We've got to do what everybody else thinks. And I know that when I talk to older people, very older people, and I'm not going to mention any names or in particular, but I just say here that they wanted, it was advised to have a stair lift. And they said, no, I don't want one. No, I don't want one. And what it came out, the truth was here is that yes, they probably needed it for themselves. It was do them good. But what their problem was is what everyone else thought about a stair lift. So they didn't want one in case it looked bad to other people. So this is interesting. We really, and I think this Venus in Leo, this energy you're saying at the moment, is very much about this need to, it is what you want despite what other people think.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So that's the point, you know, it's what like really connect with what you want.
Yes.
Don't go on guilt trips on what should or should not be, because those are the old patterns. So wanting is the seed after which your dreams may come true. But if there's no wanting, there's no seed, there's no dreams. You have to start with that, you know, and then the seed might not be like you want, I don't know, you want a flower and it comes out to be a tree and it'll surprise you. You might even like the tree. That doesn't matter. But the thing is, you have to cultivate the seed. You have to want.
Yes. And I think that's the interesting thing, isn't it? Because even though I've looked over the past sort of week or so and actually thinking about moving, about changing where I want to go to, what it is that I really need, it's interesting what I come up with. Really interesting when you really sit down and think, this is what I need. This is what's going to make my life good for a long, long time. So even though we've got retrogrades on, people can still make choices, can't they?
Yes, they should make choices. I mean, because of the fact that the retrogrades are there and the action is hindered in a way, it's all that inertia can go into feeding the dreams, because if it doesn't go to feeding the dreams, it'll go to feeding the old patterns of guilt. And you don't want that.
Yes. No.
So there's going to be this tug of war between do I want this, but I shouldn't, I can't, my old patterns don't let me, etc., etc. So we have all these mental patterns which say you can't have what you want.
Right. Okay. Yes. So, and I think this is this big thing, and I think it's going to take quite a while for 2020 thinking to drop into our minds and really sow the seed there. We've got to practice this, self-efficacy, self-love, really getting into our heart and just feeling this. And it's interesting because a friend of mine, she did a distant healing, just a healing to a Reiki group. And it was interesting when I was really doing through the meditation, I really realized how getting into yourself and right into your heart and deep into your core, and really what it felt like to just let go of the old and actually not to be afraid to step into the new.
Yes.
And
that would be, for example, in the old, in the patriarchy, what we would measure our efforts depending on the success that we had, dependent on what we had, I don't know, what we thought we wanted. So like if you don't obtain what you thought you wanted, then you feel frustrated for the fact that you invested time there, or time or money or energy or whatever. No, and this is ridiculous seen from the new perspective.
Yes.
From the new perspective, you are always achieving and obtaining something, but it's more at a conscious level, at a feeling level.
And I think that's a big point, isn't it? I mean, all right, you can think here, okay, I want to go and earn 50,000 a year. 50,000 a year. Great, go down 50,000 a year. However, if you're doing it from a conscious level, it's not going to work. Now you're doing it for
Exactly.
a heart level, okay, how's this going to feel? Why do I need this? What's it going to do
Exactly.
for me? How's it going to make my life more comfortable? And working on a heart level, I think, is the big energy that we're talking about. So absolutely lovely, lovely, lovely.
Yeah, and also very important this mentality because of all these retrogrades in the square with Mars, it's very easy to be frustrated because things don't happen the way and when you want them to happen. And it's just, cultivate the dream. I like the analogy. I know I've said it in the program more than once, but this is a part of a speech at a wedding of a dear friend of ours, and what I said, because they come from, it was like the whole family came from, on her side, Filipino origin, right? And people in that area, um, they know the power of intention because it's part of their culture since forever. And the thing is, people don't realize it, but basically the way they cross the oceans is via the power of intentions.
Yes.
So what they say is that they would summon the island and they would just get in the water and row. But summon the island and row means that you know what you envision what you want, where you want to go, where you want to get to, and then you just move in that direction. And you let
Yeah.
nature take care of you.
For a lot of people, that's very difficult to do and to actually experience that and to trust that.
Exactly. But look at this card. So, like I was saying before, the eagle or the hawk perched on the rock instead of flying, and you would think that hawk is or that eagle is looking at something, right? And you go, yeah, but what he wants is it's somewhere else. But no, and he's not moving. He's not going. Yeah, but the Empress card is about not moving. It's about trusting. It's about connecting with your inner knowledge. It's about connecting with you deep inside, prioritizing that above the mental act of saying, okay, I want this and I have to get it. And
That's a
it's hard.
very poignant thing because I love the Empress cards for men or women, and sometimes it's great with men because then men actually start to listen to themselves. And it's a self-teacher in many respects. I see this as a very intuitive spiritual card, which gets you to really connect with your spirit to understand what the true meaning of what the situation is that's going on around you. And I think for all of us at the minute, it's just whatever clutter, calamity. I know I've gone up to here. Susanna is saying here, just when things are going good, there is so much disruption in the family. Mm.
Yeah, because so this is the point. So if your focus is on what's going on outside, you're going to feel frustrated because of these, Mars squaring Saturn, Pluto, and all that stuff going on, and all of them retrograde. So you're going to feel frustrated if your focus is outside. So the idea is that to understand that outside is not going to happen like you
Hmm.
want it to. So you have to go inside. But it is so difficult for us in this society to go inside and not do anything.
That's right. That's right. Everybody's got to think they've got a cause and action, and there's something there that's got to be said or got to be done, which someone's got a point of view, which is probably ego pushing to say that their way is right.
For example, if you want harmony at home and you find like everybody's fighting with each other, but you want harmony at home, then you just go inside yourself and you connect to your heart and to connect with the feeling that you want to feel. And then you go, okay, so what does my heart want to do to achieve the harmony? And then suddenly you might come up with bake a cake. So everybody's fighting and watch television's on, whatever. You go bake a cake. It's
Yeah.
like very small actions that are aligned to your heart. That's the important thing.
I was thinking about baking one of those the other day. I was actually going to say to Deborah, I said, come on, I'm going to bake a cake. And I know she's going to look at me and go, really? You cooking? Boom. Goes to the kitchen. No, I just thought that, but it's interesting though, isn't it? I really take that on. I know I was humouring it a little bit, but no, I really take that on there. And I think here, just to come back to you, Susanna, is whatever disruption is going on. Yeah, I think it's a control thing because I'm moving on. Okay, all right. So you're moving on. Great, great. Okay. All right, we'll come back to if you want to send it via messenger through to Deborah, your birth details there, Susanna, and then we'll work on this a little bit this morning if you'd like to. Right, okay. Okay, Susan, just got your message as well. Yes, thank you very much. Just got your message. Okay, we'll work on that in a little while. But yeah, Susanna, yes, if you're moving on and you feel it's right within your heart here, then do the things that do it. But I think it's great what Guillermo says here. Rather than focusing on everybody else who's kicking up at the family because they want to, go for a walk, make a cake, make apple pie, wherever it is you want to go and do.
Yeah, make yourself feel like the way you want to feel. Because when we're like in this society, we're so used to achieving or the importance of achieving because it doesn't mean that we really get what we want. And all that comes from frustrations from when we were babies. So
Okay.
if you as a baby were not fed when you were hungry, which is probable in 99% of the cases, because most of us were, when mom was taking care of us when we were babies, she followed a book, she followed a doctor, she followed other people's advice, but she didn't follow her instincts.
Yeah.
So that means that she couldn't really listen to her baby and give the baby what the baby really needed,
Now
right?
that's an interesting thing because even with animals, if you trust your instinct to know what your animal needs, you'll have a fantastic relationship what's going on and trying to understand this rather than trying to get logic or will or push it that way. With anybody, anything, I think if we were to listen so much more by that perception, now but just listen to your heart about what it is they need, what it is you need, then we're going to get somewhere. We'll get somewhere.
Exactly. And this all happens because since we weren't weaned properly when we were little, then what happens is we are left needy for the rest of our lives.
Okay.
And
Okay.
because of that, we want to get, I want this, I want this, I want to achieve, I want to buy, I want to get, I want to get. And it's like an anxiousness, and the worst part is that it's in our society, it's seen like a good thing, and it's not, it's neediness. So that
Yes.
really doesn't allow us to align with what we really want.
It's so I love this. This is interesting because it's almost like I function this very especially around Christmas time, and I think here the amount of money that families spend. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, here, but the amount of money that we spend at Christmas time to give presents to people, and especially when we go back in time, not so much maybe next Christmas, maybe things we're going to change a little bit. But I think the amount of money people spend because this is what they think they need. This is what they think they want. They've got to have this because it's cool. They've got to have the Nike trainers. They've got to have the Adidas top. They've got to have the right handbag. Got to have this, that, and the other. It is what's really going to make us feel good. And the fact here is it comes down to it's the lovely gesture that someone's given you a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, lovely gesture someone's giving it like that, rather than it's got to be in these particular ways. It's going to make you feel so good. Okay, so you get a nice iPhone, whatever it is. Is it really going to change your life? Is it really? It's a status, isn't it? And I think or we perceive it as a status symbol. It means you're cool because you've got an iPhone or a Samsung or something like this, rather than just saying here, I've got a basic phone and it works.
Mm-hmm.
And I think these perceptions are pretty strong. So, okay, let's just asking here and I think what's going to come up through this here is we see ourselves personally. We see governments going through crazy times at the moment, crazy times. And these over in Capricorn, we've got those 3 planets retrograde, and then we've got Mars coming in, going bang, bang, bang over the top, saying, "Hey, we've got to sort things out here, guys." It's almost like, do you see this like as new organization, where by the time Mars goes direct?
New organization as far as governments goes.
Yes.
I think new organizations in something so rigid and structured as a government is going to take a while.
Probably will do. But do you think this is a new time? And it's interesting because Mars goes retrograde roughly every 18 months, roughly every 2 years or so. And so it's going retrograde over these three big planets, Saturn especially, in Capricorn, Pluto, Capricorn.
I think it's more like in a progressive way. So Capricorn has to do in essence with our mental structures,
Okay. Yes.
with our emotional and energetic patterns and behavioral patterns. So that is really what is changing and what is transforming and what the old patterns have to leave, right?
Okay.
And based on that, we project our reality, including governments.
Okay.
But I think the change that we're going to see is more in the lines of governments, like in country governments or the European Union. They're going to find out that they're not going to be able to be efficient, they're not going to be able to do their job, and they're going to be overwhelmed by their responsibility. So what's going to happen is that they're going to, is it delegate the word? Part of their
Delegate. Yes.
responsibility to local governments. So it'll go from regional governments, sorry, first regional, no, regional governments, then regional to local, and so forth. So I think more and more things will be delegated to
Okay.
more localness until, of course, the local governments are also going to delegate on the neighbors on the families on, and so forth. So it's going to go from top down via delegating responsibilities, I think, is the way that the change will occur.
Now that's interesting because that's happening at the moment, isn't it? That's happening at the
Yes.
moment, especially in Spain, where they're controlling things by, okay, whatever's going on with the virus, where rather than Spain treating the country as a whole, they're going by regions and then local
Exactly.
areas. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's going to generalize because it just makes sense that it's like that because you can't have those structures fall down from one day to the next. It's just not going to happen
No.
without a cataclysm or a war or something like that. So I think it's going to be more progressive and it's probably going to take that form. Also, parallel to that, which is something that is very much of Libra energy. We've got Mercury in Libra now, and Venus in Leo. Venus rules Libra. To me, it's Libra has one Libra sun, moon, rising, whatever, Libra energy in general. It's about being nice and being polite, but because there's a fragment of you that when
Yeah.
you were little was stunned in taking on too much responsibility. So
Yes.
this is also an aspect that's going on, like at a very personal level. It's like, I want this, I desire that, this is my dream, but your hurt inner child, that fragment of you who had, for whatever reason, to take in too much responsibility, more than what was necessary for you for that age, is stunned and is criticizing you, and that's what's pulling you back. And I think this is what's the accent of today is, with the crib and with all these
Okay.
aspects we talked about before. So, in which way, when you were little, when you were maybe 5, 6 years old, did you have to take on or feel responsible for others? I don't know. Maybe you had parents that were always fighting, or maybe your parents were complaining about money, or maybe you were the eldest of the siblings and you were told to take care of your kids, of your siblings. So, for whatever reason, we assume responsibilities that don't pertain to us.
That is brilliant because I came along to a great friend of ours, Michelle. Michelle at the centre there, and we had a fantastic session. I must admit, I would come over there because I wanted to get new alignment in me, and it was absolutely brilliant. But we had a fantastic discussion about, and actually did some EFT tapping about releasing what is not attached to us, whether it's through ancestral, whether it's through old relationships, whether it's through things here, and actually releasing that energy, the immediate uh, feeling response I had in myself was like, wow, that was incredible. And I think if people use this particular time to work on themselves, to
Yeah,
release the stuff we don't need, we're going in a good way. We're going in a
exactly.
beautiful direction.
Yeah. So it could be the form of releasing the responsibilities that
Yes.
didn't pertain to you, Could be your parents' pain. Could be, it's so many different things that suddenly you think as a little child that you're responsible for.
Yes, that's right. Because when we're actually working through our energy, Betty, you've just given us there. Thank you very much. Date of birth and a favourite colour blue. We also need a question. Or else we're just going stabbing in the dark. We're stabbing in the dark working with you there. But if you give us a question as well, that'd be great. But just come back onto this though. I think as well, because between the ages of 4 to 8 years old, and probably it's about 3, I think actually goes a bit older than up to 9. Whatever we're taking in our life through our family goes straight to our subconscious, and we start developing from that. If
Yeah.
there's arguments going on around the family the whole time, you're going to just feel everything is argumentative, everything is conflict. Compared to love or something like this, everybody's experience is very different. And this is some of the stuff here we're dealing with, and even using this particular time now, no matter what it is, no matter how long ago it was, you can release this if you are around people who know how to help you to release. If you need help, want help, and you want to release stuff, go find the people who can help you do it.
Yeah, okay. And for example, one simple exercise you can do with the energy of today, it's just sit and feel what it is that you want, what it is that you desire, what it is that you hope for, what's your wish. Just write it down, like, and really bring it down to the essence of it. No, not try to visualize it, but really, like, how do you want to feel with what you want? No, and you write that down, and then observe the guilt trips, or observe the blame, the shame, the guilt that comes up and says that you cannot have that.
Yep.
Okay? And you write that down,
Yep.
either on a separate leaf or on another side, on the other side of the page. But you want to do it. You want it to be separate, because ideally you want to, like, rip it apart and burn it, because those are the beliefs that don't allow you to achieve your wish, and they will come up when you align with your wish, so you can actually let them go.
Guys, during the show here, if you want to, because it's a nice, relaxing, easy morning, Wednesday morning, it's just going a nice, steady flow of show here. If you would like to, just sit there nice, quietly, deeply, gently, and just think about it is what you want. What you want, what you truly, truly want, as Guillermo was saying. And then also separately write down what it is that the guilt trips, why you think you can't have that. What's blocking you? What's blocking that intention there? And if you want to chat, write that down. By all means do. We'll love to respond. Love to. Good. Okay, right. We've just gone past 11:30. We've got about 4 people here who want readings this morning. So we'll jump onto those. Whilst we're in between this, we'll be discussing all this energy and also your ambitions, what it is you truly want in your life. Yes. Yes. I don't know what I got there, but when I was doing that, I just got harmony and honey. Harmony and honey when I was doing it. Harmony and honey, I just saw that as the Empress, in the Empress, harmony and honey. I just felt that. Yes, it was a lovely, lovely feeling, and that meant everything. Like everything is just, I'm working towards just everything is contained to feel like it's happy, it's going the right direction, and just existing in a lovely feeling. That's what it felt like to me. Yes. Okay, right. Okay, so let's go and have a little word. Let's go and have a little word with Jay. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Jay. And how are you? I hope you're very, very well out there. And your colour is teal, and your question is help. Okay. That's a good question, that is. Help. Okay. Now, if I was to work on the energies around you there, here, and you say the word help, my initial thing here is this help because it really is a serious situation, or is this help because I just need a little bit of guidance? And my feelings here are drawn towards a little bit of guidance, to help you where you're going. Now, what I also would like to say here is that part of the feeling of help here is about decisions that you're going to be making. In fact, as I'm talking here, I've got this lovely gentleman who just comes up beside me here. He wants Project to come forward to you. Very, very nice man, very chatty man, loves the seaside. Love the hills and the towns on the hills and the little coves. He wants to take me down like Devon Way, all those particular areas. This guy was very, very friendly, and I'm almost talking here. I got like G or H to his name, like George or Harry, but they're between his names here. And he's also saying to me here, just wants to Jenny come forward to you here is, and he's interested in talking about love. And we'll talk a little bit about love, what we truly want in our heart here. And would you understand here what your perception of love is and what people can give you to match that is out of sync? It's not in the right place. The right place. What people are giving you is not the right answer. It's not the right answer you're looking for. So therefore, I would say here is don't settle for just for what is. Is either you've got to make a statement saying, look, this isn't working for me, or you've got to move on. Whatever it is to change to move on. But don't. The biggest thing I pick up here is though you ask for help of feeling here like am I a victim in this? I wouldn't say you're a victim. I think you're in power as soon as you take your own strength back and say here, I'm going to take action. I'm going to take action here. And also what I pick up here too, because the way he's talking to me is, is to believe in your own self-love. And sometimes that's a hard thing to do if we've been through challenging times, but it's not impossible. But it's a lovely thing when you reach it. So Jay, hope that helps you out there to the moment. And we're going to nip down the road to Javier to speak to Star Woman. Guillemar, what would you like to say, Guillemar? You were nodding your head there, so something I was saying something in there which is in agreement to you. Go on. Fine, fair on. By the way.
So Jay is a sun in Cancer and moon in Aries, Uranus in Libra. So there's a tendency to have very codependent, also Chiron moon conjunction, codependent relationships. But in codependent relationships, shit comes up, and especially if you have Lilith in Scorpio and with the moon. So when shit comes up, you end up being isolated and alone, and it's very probable that you get, like, there's also a Saturn Venus, you probably get the worst side of your partners. Like you find that they yell at you or they get angry at you, and you don't know where things are coming from. So you might feel rejected and you close up and you clamp up and you don't know how to deal with it, but it all stems from that codependency. And codependency, as I was saying before, comes from not being taken care of, nurtured properly when you were a child, when you were a baby, because mom couldn't. That's it. It's not because she's good, she's bad, whatever. She couldn't. And when mom doesn't take care of you, you're left with that neediness, and you're relating to people from that neediness. For Sun and Cancer this year, it's all about these relationships and being on your own, and really nurturing and taking care of yourself to heal those wounds of that inner baby.
I think there's a big thing here. In fact, even thinking about this here is, I think, Jay, you've actually got more power than what you know. Yes, more power than what you know, especially with this card here, which is your Queen of Swords. Your Queen of Swords here. Often, a lot of traditional people in the tarot world say here the Queen of Swords is a divorced woman. There's also a woman of power. There's also a woman who's got the ability to make her own decisions, ruled by air, ruled by the element of air. And Aries thinking, Aries being able to see here I can create, I know what I want. I've got to connect with that energy of air, the element of air, to be able to move forwards. And actually, you can do, because your focus here is going to be on money. Your focus after a while will be on money, and it'll be letting go of relationships which do not serve you. Do not serve you. And yes, so your power will come. Your power will come, my dear. It's down to you to, okay, this is what I want, and not be afraid. Right, brilliant. Okay, we've got Betty. Betty's come all the way over from Alaska. Now, Betty is a lovely, lovely lady. She's watched the show for quite some time now. In fact, I'll stick that up there. There it goes. Yes, no, it won't go up there either. I'm gonna. That'll do. That'll do there. Anyway, Betty's been, she's been in hospital for a very, very long time. Since February, she was in hospital, and she just came out a couple of weeks ago. And so, Betty, we'd just like to say a little round of applause there. And also, we'll always send you a little heart there somewhere, a little heart to wish you well. But she says here, I'm a personal assistant. Where is my life going after hospital? Where's my life going to? And sometimes that's quite a big decision to make, isn't it? Because you come out of one institution such as hospital, where you've been doing nothing, you had no power, no control, you've just had to just stay there, and that's that. And so really what we've actually needed here is to say to you, Betty, here, where's life going next? Well, the first thing I'd like to say to you here is no rush. Absolutely no rush. Absolutely no rush at all. And I think here that the process of change to go in front of you here, would you understand here that your first thing to go do is a healing here? And I've got a lovely lady who wants to come over to me from the spirit world. In fact, she just tells me that she's your grandmother. And I get a feeling that your grandmother had two names. I tried to pick up her names at the moment, but she was known by two names. And as she's coming through, she was saying to me, would you understand here that your first thing here is to work on and release a little bit of family stuff or trauma stuff in family that you had before, especially with the women around family, like mothers, sisters, or even daughters, for example. But I'm just picking up about women and the needing to heal this area here. Would you also understand here that your family, your father or grandfather here, in fact, probably both, were very much like they lived up to be proud. They lived up to be proud people. So it's also that feeling here like, am I doing well? I don't feel well because I'm not living up to the idealism of how people wanted me to live up to. And this is what she's saying to me here. She says, yes, 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 so wonderful. And so that's where the energy sort of takes us at the moment. And I think here that for the moment here, it's about healing these little bits. No rush. Very, very gently, and do it with grace, love, and harmony, not fear. Not fear. So I like to say those energies first of all. And also your numbers here are 3, 8, 11. You're a master healer. You're a master healer. Yes, very proud. I really pick up that proudness, and sometimes thinking, but I'm not feeling proud because I've been on hospital, my life isn't going right. Hang on a minute. When we have these times in our lives, don't we have the opportunity at time here to say here, I need to heal? Because as much as you healed inside hospital, you've got to heal outside of it as well, which takes a little time here. So we love you. You're doing just fine, Betty. You're doing just fine. And to go down that road there. Bernadette just got your message there. She says, hi, clever reading, please. We need your date of birth, we need a colour, and we need a question. Thank you. Right. Okay. Yes. What would you like to say?
This is Betty, right?
This is Betty.
Okay.
Betty Boo. Betty Boo. Let's call you Betty Boo.
Betty's a Leo, so it's normal that she has that pride in her. And Lilith Leo too, so she has to bring that out in some way. Betty, you have to really like own your creative energy and your creative expression. Also, I like there's Neptune in Scorpio, North Node in Libra. There's a tendency to really serve others before yourself, and like being a Leo, the priority should be to be happy and to have fun, not to serve others and think of what they want. Also, your North Node is in Libra, which says, okay, you are here to support others, but by being yourself. You can't not be yourself when you support others. So how do you connect with yourself? By being creative, by creating things, and by letting them go. So maybe it's a good idea. I don't know if you can do any handicrafts or I don't know, pictures or whatever that serves you as a creative expression, and you create that and you let it go by giving it to other people and communicating to them that way. That's what comes to me.
That's brilliant. I think it's a very big thing here. And I also think here that although your family were extremely proud people, we've also gone through a lot of family traditional change. So as much as they were proud people and what they tried to do and how they work, but they were reacting to an environment and a time around them. Your reaction now is your time and environment around you now, which is different. But this is, I understand, I totally agree with that. I think here to do something creative and something amazing would be good because you've got a 3, 8, 11. And the 8 is about your power, about feeling inside your heart here. Wow, what I could do for me brings out something which can either grab the attention of people outside, it could network with people, but it's bringing out that loveliness inside you, that own self-pride. But it's a different pride to the way I'd say here your ancestry was. And right, Bernadette, thank you very much. Now we need a question. You've given us date of birth, a colour, and we need a question. Right, okay, just before we go further on this here, let's have a look. Betty, where you're going here. Okay, right. Right. No, you're secure. This is interesting here. The other thing you may well be doing, Betty, is would you understand that you're looking at your home where you are now, and maybe you consider moving? Mm. There's a consideration on moving home because you've got security to do with home, but you've got this lovely little moving card, and maybe the two is a moving of home. But I can understand your feeling, but I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Maybe there's an opportunity with this. Actually brings out some sunlight for you. So I think that's good there. Right. Let's go back to now. We had Susan Goddard. Let's have a look for you, Susan. And yes, okay. I'm just trying to look for your details there. I'm just coming back and right. Oh yes, there we go. There we go. There we go. Right. Okay. Hi Phil. We met one time in Norwich, where you did a reading for me. Can I get a reading? My date of birth is 16th of 1959. My favorite colour is yellow. My name is now Susan Cracker. Well, cracking Susan you are. So people are bound to say that now to you, aren't they? It's probably an old one, isn't it? Yeah, cracking Susan. Right. Okay, so let's have a little look here. And I'm going to work on you, Susan, and see what we start to pick up here. Susan, as I'm working with your energies and your colours here, let's have a little look. Susan, the first thing I'd like to say to you here is I've got two energies that want to come out for the spirit world. And also here, I've got animals over there as well, if you understand this. I've got animals who wish to come out for the spirit world. So I've got a nice energy about feeling from animals. And also here, would you understand here that your time has always been to look after or do things for other people? To look or do things for other people, because there's a big energy here about this. I also feel here, because your question here, just coming back to this, is I want to hold my own. I don't have the money to get one at the moment, but I don't have any guilt. Just don't have any money at the moment. Okay, so this is an interesting one here because we look here in life and think here, okay, which way do we go? Well, we've got to change something here. We're going to change something here if you're going to go and get a home of your own. I feel here, whatever it is you're doing, I feel that over the next few months, you're going to see in yourself a new harmony here. And I think this will be very strong because you're a 10-1 and you're in a personal year 5. For you, it's about being radical. It's about being a bit crazy out there. Because your 5 is just say here, hey, I'm not going to be tied to anything. You want to tie me down to a house? What are you tell me to do? Your number 5 energy just says there, I am free. I am free. Your time for actually looking at homes is not this year. It's going to be more next year. Your time now is to go and be liberated, go and be free, go and do exactly what you want to do. You spend all this time in your life, my lovely, all this time in your life looking after everybody else. What about you? What about you? I wouldn't focus just on homes. I'd focus on enjoying myself. I'm going to pop down the road here to have you and see what you would like to say here about Susan.
So Susan is a Gemini with the moon in Libra.
Oh, that explains it all.
Yeah. Which is all on the mind. It's funny because there's like a month and a week difference from the previous chart.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know if you realized. So there's lots of things in common. There's a North Node in Libra, there's a Chiron in Aquarius, and well, Neptune, Jupiter also. So in this chart, Chiron is very preponderant, and Chiron, together with that Sun in Gemini and that Moon in Libra. So for this year, for Gemini, it's all about not closing doors, because the opportunities are going to come from where you least expect it.
Mm-hmm.
So with Chiron in Aquarius and with so many aspects, there's a karmatic issues with people in general. So there's lots of karma to be dealt with people. And when that happens, one can become very zealous and very precautious with relationships and with people in general and with how to do things in life in general, because you just don't want to make the same mistake again. So this year is about understanding that don't close your doors. If you try to avoid people, situations, or things, then you're closing the doors. And that's going to create more karma. And you don't want to do that. So that means that Observe your judgment, observe where your mind goes to criticize, and just accept. Remember what I said before. So your North Node and the Moon in Libra. So if you see yourself criticizing, it's an aspect of you where you were about 5 years old that had to take on too many responsibilities.
I
So
picked up that as well. Very much so. Yes.
yeah. So that part of you is what's not letting you go down the road you really want to go.
Mm.
And you can heal that inner child just by speaking to it, to that part of, to that fragment of you, and asking yourself, that fragment of you, what it wants. And you as an adult giving yourself that, typical inner child technique. And also, you can, what you can do is every time you see yourself criticizing, just step back in your mind and go, oh, I'm not going to close doors anymore. Well, maybe this person has something interesting to offer me, or maybe the situation is interesting, which doesn't mean that you have to go have a coffee with that person, but then your mindset is not criticizing and closing doors, it's
Yeah.
opening.
Yeah.
And that's the important movement here.
This is lovely. This is lovely, Susan. So I hope you really understand this. You're really getting this, guy. I totally get the feel, this energy. You've got this 5 energy which is going through this year. Yes, be free. Don't close doors though. I think that's a passionate thing about it. I think regarding your aim, your ambition about where you want to do the home, I wouldn't close the door on that this year either. But I would think here next year there seems to be opportunities which will bring more of that action your way, life your way. It's just a funny year, but it's a year of freedom. You're a life. You're a 10-1. You're 10-1. So sometimes it's just about you've taken on, and it's the 0 part, which sometimes be filled with so much karma from past times. Um, oh, right. Okay. Yes, this is where I sometimes see us here. It's I have felt out. I fell out with my eldest son. I have a very difficult husband to deal with that I'm always trying to get away from. I can understand why your 5 energy this year is trying to break free. It's interesting because next year I think is the year that you do start to break away from that. This year at the moment, I would build up your self reliance, your independence, and your strength. Because coming up
And
late,
the judgment that you're putting towards them,
yeah,
just take it back. So say, okay, I don't like what they're doing, but I don't know what their motivations are, I don't know what their reasons are, and I don't want to know. So I accept the way they are. It's just about not continue the criticism in your mind, because that's when it's going to close doors, because
that
it's going to make you
yes,
reactive to the signals that are related to your husband. Say, I'm going to give a stupid example, but it's to make a point, no? So imagine your husband loves the color green and he always wears green shirts, right? So because the fact that you are judging your husband, then what's going to happen is you're going to close the doors to anybody who wears a green shirt.
mm-hmm.
And maybe the opportunity you need and want comes from a person wearing a green shirt. Okay, it's a silly example, but so you get my drift.
She says, I've done that. I've done that. Yeah. Susan, that's brilliant. Okay, so yes, but you get the drift there. Now, it's interesting here as well, which what you're saying is they may be difficult, but what you're be careful of not merging the two. Not merge the two, because sometimes we merge the two. Then what will happen here is you then start taking on thinking, this is my hate, this is my anger. It's not. That's their stuff. If they're difficult, they're difficult. That's their difficulty, not yours. Mm. Right. Okay. Let's come. How are we doing now? Yes. Right. We are. Good evening. Good evening, Ricardo. Very nice to see you, sir. Very nice to welcome you onto the show. And hi, Sarah. She comes onto the show as well. Lovely to see you too. I'm just going to nip back up the screen here because there's another lady here who came on, and her name is Bernadette. And Bernadette says this is her colours here. She's 7/12/1974. I'm just going to Scooby do these numbers out as we go here. But also what I want to talk about first of all is your question you had here. And
Sorry, what's the birth date?
7/12/1974.
Okay.
So John 1974, and a colour purple, which I'm going to work on here. And your quote, whilst you're doing that, your question here is, will my dad be there to meet my dog when he passes in a couple of weeks, please? That's a very sad thing to put, we say that life is moving on and changing like that. But what I'd like to say to you straight away here is the spirit world is a beautiful place. So never think never think here that we don't meet loved ones on the other side. I mean, here's something crazy at times here. We have arguments, we have conflicts with people down here, but they're all there in one shape or form to teach us something here. When we pass over, sometimes they're there to meet us. You're thinking, but that's the last person I wanted to see. But actually, love is love. Love is love. At some point or another, there was love. So it's interesting, isn't it? Anyway, so will my dad be there to meet my dog? We passed in a couple of weeks. We don't really go into. I'm not going to say what's going to happen in a couple of weeks, but what we will do though, just working your energy around you, just to help you, is to work with the energy about reuniting love, not feeling alone, not feeling that loved ones, animals, anything like this are alone, but to help you. And I would say here, looking at your numbers, especially here with your 7, it's very much about sometimes you see the world for a different phase here. You've also got here that comes out 7, 12. That's 3. I also pick up here as 2. This also is about the 10 part of you, which is about the independence. So you have this way about you. Sometimes we're in our cave. We don't always connect with everybody else, but we see it through one particular set of glasses, if I could put it like that. And but the other energy here is the other energy here would start to pick up is what's going to start going on over you over the next few weeks and next few months. I'd say here for you is about healing the inner child in you. Healing the child, and I'm going to come back to that in just a moment. But I'd like to go over to Javier there to go speak with you. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. The sun is pretty much without aspects, in spite of the fact that you have like Venus, Sun, North Node, Neptune, and Mercury all in Sagittarius. So that's a lot of Sag energy, which is very easy to go into the mind and for the mind to reach beyond and all that. So hence the interest in, will my father meet my dog? But that sun without any aspects is all alone. And so is Saturn in Cancer, and the moon in Virgo, and Lilith in Aquarius. Lilith Venus can't stand being alone. So there's a lot of loneliness. And I think you're just projecting your own loneliness from your child onto your doggy. So yes, your daddy didn't receive you like you wanted to when you were a child. So it's just about connecting with that and nurturing yourself and giving love and whatever you need, whatever your inner child needs today, only you can give that to her. Nobody else can.
Okay, very interesting. Very, very. I'll tell you what, I just want to say here, I think you've got such a lovely heart. Such a lovely heart, Bernadette. I think you're an absolutely gorgeous soul. And I think here, but there's this feeling here, it's like something's hurt you, and maybe in a younger time, feeling that that energy there. And that's sometimes why we feel that particular way. Bernadette says absolutely. Right. Okay. Let's have a look here. I'm just gonna cut the pack into 3 piles, and let's have a little look here. Now, Bernadette, what I also like to say here is I feel you're a 2-2 in numerology, and that's a very powerful number, but it's sometimes not seeing who we are. It's seeing something else. Here. What this is wow. Okay, right. This is about love that's coming into your life over the next few months or so, and how you're going to respond to this. This is going to be a big thing. You're going to start breaking down conflict. And I think it's a conflict about being too shy, too held back, too living in the past, to moving into the future. Moving into the future is going to give you more stability than what you know. But it's step by step and working on, hey, how am I feeling through this? How am I going? Where this goes, how this projects in front of you. This is She said she's a psychic medium. Well, this is interesting here because I get this energy within you. There's lovely energy here that says I can understand why you got sevens here, and I can understand why you got two twos with a four. But you've got this enormous healing, and I think, but you need this for yourself as much as you'll be at other people as what you need for yourself to help you, and that's what I think is going to be absolutely blinding, absolutely amazing. Yes. Yes, yes. So, during the show today, we talked about Mars retrograde, how it's all going to affect us all. And literally, guys, don't panic. We're just going into a time here, as I would say here, maybe it's the time the general doesn't advance his troops. He goes back to retrain his troops. We could look at it that way. We could also look at it here as about how we're processing change in our lives, what we need to go over just to look here. And when we go ahead, we also some live readings, and the show's on for an hour. We've just come to the end of the show. So Sandra, Sandra and Michaela and Ricardo and a few other people there just come on just at the end of the show. We start the show at 11 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. If you'd like to come on next week, in fact, if you want to send your details through for next week's show, we've already got some of them here. We need... Sandra, I think you've already given us a question there already. We need your date of birth, we need a favourite colour, and we need your question. Three things. That's all we want. And then we can put you on for next Wednesday. Alternatively, I'm on Sunday evening. Just to let you guys know, just to give you guys a heads up, through this month, on the 29th of this month, which is about 20 days away. We're on 9th already. 29th this month, which is almost 3 weeks. Myself and Guillermo are coming on Tuesday evening to do a very special, big special at 8 o'clock in the evening, Tuesday. Big special on hearts, relationships, and emotional matters. I'm sure we'll be there for hours. This one, for hours. So if you guys put that in your diary, 29th, if you want to come on that show, you want to understand about emotions, relationships, and where we're going in this here, I'm sure there's other questions there you probably got there as well. Just come up through us, Susan. Other questions as well, for example. But all you guys there, big heart, big love, big everything out to you guys. It's been absolutely lovely. Lovely to work with you guys. And I'm sorry you other guys, Michaela and everybody else has just come on. We're at the end of the show, unfortunately. But we'll see you very, very soon. By all means, like the page and also join the Cafe Clairvoyance group. Cafe Clairvoyance group. There we interact with you guys a lot more. In between times here, we often do little pop-ups. And as soon as you like the page, it's also on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to the page there. You'll get loads and loads of information. Sandra... Sandra just got your question there. That's fantastic, and it just says thank you. Lovely. I'm coming already. It's in my diary. Yes, put it on there. 29th September, 8 o'clock Spain or EU, 7 o'clock UK. See you guys then. There you are. Guillermo. Oh, there you go. Guillermo on a Tuesday guest on 29th. Bound to be a massive show. So we'll see you guys very, very soon. Guillermo, what can I say? Thank you so much. Lovely, flowy, gentle Mars retrograde talkative show. Say here, guys, don't panic. Don't panic, Mr. Mandarin, as we used to say, Dad's Army.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, bless you. And big love and a burger.
Bye.
Love burger. Take care, you too. Always a pleasure to have you on. You guys take care. And, there it is. See you soon.